I think it's safe to say that pretty much every single progressive, including myself, we're all getting increasingly impatient waiting for Bernie Sanders to announce that he's running for president. I get it. It's only early January, but for the love of God, Elizabeth Warren already just announced Bernie Sanders, and I'm not the only one who's getting impatient because Our Revolution officially announced that they're launching a draft Bernie campaign to influence him to run for president. Ruby Kramer of BuzzFeed explains, Our Revolution, the political group Bernie Sanders founded after his bid for the Democratic nomination, will start a campaign to draft the Vermont senator into the 2020 presidential race. The nonprofit organization, run by Nina Turner, the former Ohio State senator and a staunch Sanders ally, asked supporters in an email days before Christmas if they should form Run Bernie Run to encourage the senator to jump into the 2020 campaign. On Monday evening, the group notified members that it would activate the draft effort, making Our Revolution the second group to encourage Sanders to run for president following the launch of Organizing for Bernie last month. Both efforts are separate from the official Sanders operation, but run by aides who are closely linked to the senator and his staff. Turner, the head of Our Revolution, regularly travels with Sanders, joining him most recently on a 9-state tour ahead of the 2018 midterm elections. And Organizing for Bernie is headed by a longtime former aide, Rich Pelletier. Yeah, so I endorse this move 1,000%. I think that you've got to get started early, Bernie. For the love of God, just announce already. I saw somebody post a meme on the Humanist Report Facebook page in response to the video that I made about David Brock attacking Bernie Sanders and his supporters, and it said, every time someone attacks Bernie, we donate. And I really like this move, but we can't donate if you haven't announced your campaign, if there's no campaign to donate to. And we all know that a Bernie 2020 campaign is inevitable, but at the same time, how far off are we from a Bernie 2020 campaign? We're getting reports that Joe Biden is weeks away from making his decision and possibly announcing. We have Elizabeth Warren already hitting the campaign trail in Iowa. I think now is the time to announce. So I'm all for putting the pressure on Bernie to hurry up and announce. You did this to yourself, Bernie. You ran in 2016. You became the guy that, nobody expected would run, but did run. And you started a political revolution, and we want that to continue. So I absolutely want him to run. And let me just make another plea to progressives who are thinking about, jumping ship on Bernie 2020 and, in favor of someone else like Richard Ojeda, Andrew Yang, Elizabeth Warren, and even Tulsi Gabbard. If you want a progressive president, we should have one goal, and that is to consolidate the vote. I'm all for people making their choice, but understand that from a strategic angle, we've got to do what we can to make sure that all progressives unify behind the person who started this entire revolution to begin with, the person who influenced people like Tulsi and Elizabeth Warren and Richard Ojeda to run. And that person is Bernie Sanders. So if we all unify behind Bernie and establishment Democrats split the votes between Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Joe Biden, Beto O'Rourke, whoever, then we improve our odds of getting through the Democratic primary with Bernie Sanders. So Bernie's the person who I'm going to back relentlessly. I'm going to be passionately enthusiastic about Bernie Sanders. And as soon as he announces, I'm going to donate the 27, I'm going to buy all the shirts and the merch, and I'm going to be obnoxious in my support for Bernie Sanders. I'm going to plaster a bumper sticker on my head, not because there's this cult of personality, because Bernie Sanders is not charismatic, because I care about the policies that he talks about. Medicare for all, a Green New Deal, tuition-free public colleges and universities, and he's really the last person, our last hope, who would actually bring about an FDR-type political revolution. So long story short, for the love of God, Bernie, just run!
Girly Mike Fettuccine needs your support on Patreon. What a loser. Visit patreon.com/Humanist Report to support the low ratings Humanist Report. Sad. My views are much higher.